Drilling does not only create a well, it also brings waste streams to the surface, and those waste streams must be managed as part of environmental risk control.
The key message is clear. Responsible waste management starts before the waste is generated, not after it is already sitting on site. The first waste stream is drill cuttings. These are pieces of formation brought to surface by the circulating drilling fluid. They may carry residual drilling fluid, salts, hydrocarbons, metals, or other naturally occurring substances from the formation. So, the issue is not simply whether cuttings are removed from the work area. Correct. The regulatory question is whether they have been properly identified, characterized, contained, and managed so they do not create unacceptable risk to land, surface water, or groundwater. Drilling fluids are the second major stream. They are essential for well construction because they transport cuttings, support pressure control, cool and lubricate equipment, and help maintain borehole stability.
But once used, they can become a waste stream. Exactly. Used fluids may contain additives, formation materials, salts, hydrocarbons, or other contaminants. Where practicable, fluids should be recovered and reused. Where reuse is not practicable, they require containment, characterization, treatment where necessary, and an authorized management pathway.
That distinction matters. A fluid being operationally useful during drilling does not mean it is environmentally acceptable once it becomes waste. The third stream is produced water. Its composition can vary, but it may include hydrocarbons, dissolved salts, treatment chemicals, and naturally occurring substances.
Which means the receiving environment becomes part of the decision. Yes, discharge or disposal cannot be assumed to be acceptable. The proposed pathway must match the waste characteristics and the regulatory controls that apply to that activity.
That is also why disposal pathways should be considered early. A contractor collecting the material is not, by itself, enough.
The operator still needs confidence that the receiving facility is authorized and suitable for that waste. Precisely. Suitability means more than capacity. It includes the waste classification, the risk profile, transport requirements, treatment needs, and the final destination. The central cycle brings these streams together: minimize, segregate, treat, and manage, then dispose responsibly. Minimization begins with design and operating practice. Better planning can reduce excess fluid volumes, avoid unnecessary contamination, and reduce the amount of material needing disposal. And segregation prevents avoidable escalation of risk.
Exactly. If lower-risk waste is mixed with higher-risk waste, the whole combined stream may require more stringent handling. Segregation protects recovery options and supports clearer classification.
Treatment and management come next. That may involve conditioning fluids, separating solids, controlling storage, preventing leaks, and ensuring waste remains contained before transport. Then disposal must be responsible, authorized, and documented. Yes. The cycle is not a slogan. It is a control sequence. Reduce what is generated, keep streams distinct, reduce risk where required, and only then move material to the correct pathway. From a regulatory perspective, waste management sits inside the broader environmental risk assessment for petroleum operations. The operator must identify what waste will be generated, what harm it could cause, what controls will prevent or reduce that harm, and where each stream will go. The last question is often where compliance becomes visible.
It does. Records should demonstrate classification, quantities, storage, transport, treatment, and final destination where required. Without that evidence, it becomes difficult to show that controls were implemented and effective. That is especially important where waste could affect land or groundwater. Correct. Contamination risks must be managed, and certain contamination may trigger notification obligations. The regulatory approach is therefore prevention-focused. It is not simply about cleaning up after the fact.
This also connects to well integrity, controlled fluids, sound casing, effective cementing, and managed surface handling all reduce the chance that drilling activity creates environmental exposure. Well, integrity and environmental protection should not be treated as separate themes. Waste control supports both. The practical message is to anticipate waste before drilling begins. Cuttings, fluids, produced water, and every disposal or recovery pathway.
Identify it, characterize it, control it, send it only to an appropriate authorized pathway, and retain the evidence.
The objective is not zero waste in every operation. The objective is to minimize waste and minimize the risk created by the waste that remains. That is how drilling waste management supports environmental protection, while integrity, compliance, and responsible petroleum operations.